that tends to identify him or her.
That's all fine, well and good, but that's a violation of my First Amendment rights.
So that's, well, this is your warning.
Hello friends, welcome to the channel. In today's video, listen, we're gonna keep this one simple. This one we're about to watch is disturbing. But the reason I'm bringing it to you is because it is exactly a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. The Bible tells us in the book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, that the lamb-like beast will eventually speak like a dragon. Now, we know that the lamb-like beast is the United States, and we understand this country has some very good freedoms that he provides to his people, such as the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom to petition the government, also the freedom of religion, right? Church and state is separated. And we understand all these freedoms, they are very precious, but the reality is these freedoms are slowly being eroded. And it goes to show exactly what the Bible says is going to take place. The United States of America, according to Bible prophecy, will become a persecuting power. It will persecute God's people, those who keep the commandments of God, and they have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So in today's video, what you're about to see is a woman who is trying to express herself. Even before she had an opportunity to speak, she was actually arrested because her freedom of speech was taken away from her. You have to keep in mind, you can speak your mind in this country to your elected officials, not only them, but those who are in responsible position, even educational position. But this poor woman, because she was not willing to go along with some type of regulation on her free speech, not to mention other people's names in the way that they prescribed, as a result of that, she was dragged out of the room. So let's take a listen to this video and we're gonna come back and talk a little bit more.
There are numerous public records requests that I have open right now that are, quote, pending legal review that I am entitled to request.
I've got to interrupt you here because...
Okay, are you going to stop the timer?
This is the public meeting forum that you agree to when you speak, and I want to read this to you, that there are oral communications during the city council meeting may not be used to lodge charges or complaints against any employee of the city or members of the body, regardless of whether such person is identified in the presentation by the name or by any other reference that tends to identify him or her.
That's all fine, well and good, but that's a violation of my First Amendment rights.
So that's, well, this is your warning, okay?
Warning for what?
A warning for attacking the city attorney personally.
This is all factual information.
It doesn't matter.
You're violating my First Amendment rights.
This is what you agree to when you for speaking. This is the form.
It is unconstitutional, Mayor Hall.
Well, it's not unconstitutional.
It is.
And if you're
the Supreme Court has upheld. I could get up here and I could swear at you for 3 straight minutes, and it is protected speech by the Supreme Court. It is.
No, you can't.
Why don't you look at case law?
No, you can't.
I can.
So if you want to be
also the chair is engaged in debate. So
do you
point
want
of
to be
order.
escorted out of here? Do you want to be escorted out
You're
of here?
You're violating my First Amendment rights.
Talking.
You are violating my First Amendment rights.
That's your opinion.
It's not a matter of opinion.
Do you want to be escorted out, Ms. Massey? Because that's what's going to happen. And it's going to happen in the future also. Anytime you attack
That's why you changed the rules.
Or any
That's why you changed the rules.
This has been on the back of this form.
I understand, Mayor Hall, but that is completely unconstitutional.
No, it's
You're
not.
Also engaging in debate, and so you should actually be yielding the floor to somebody else managing.
Chief, could you have somebody come down here and escort Ms. Massey out?
Really, is that necessary?
Chamber? Yes, I think it is.
In front of my 10-year-old daughter, you're going to escort me out for expressing my First Amendment rights.
She can go with you.
I'm not leaving.
Well,
Need you to sit down with me.
I'm expressing my first. Do not touch me. Do not put your hands on me.
Need you to sit down with me.
Do not put your hands on me.
Come on out.
Do not put your hands on me.
Come out with me now before you get arrested. Do you understand?
Are you detaining me?
Yes.
Why am I being detained? Under what charges? Under what charges?
okay, so
I have personal property.
Hold on.
You cannot touch me.
Yeah, I know. She can go out there. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go into E-session.
Motion to go into E-session?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're going into E-session.
That right here, friends, is actually very, very disturbing. You will think this is happening in China, in North Korea, and different parts of the world where you're living in a society where you have communist propaganda and stuff like that. But that's not really the case. This is supposed to be a constitutional republic. We're supposed to have a freedom of speech. And when you see stuff like this, it's disturbing. Here is the reason why I'm talking about it. The Bible tells us that the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. The devil hates your ability to speak the truth, right? And I think when you look at this from a spiritual perspective, you can see this is an attack on the proclamation of the gospel. And the kingdom of darkness does not want the truth out there. If you don't realize how serious of a thing it is, I will encourage you, get a YouTube channel and start speaking. You will realize how serious of a thing censorship is. Somebody once said, her name was Laurie Anderson. Let me read to you. She said, censorship is the child of fear, the father of ignorance, and the weapon of tyrants. And what we are looking at, these censorship gurus that are happening on the internet, is happening in different parts of the world, of course, cancel culture and stuff like that. This is not a good thing. Now, we can understand as Christians, we gotta be wise in the way that we speak, right? Our words must always be seasoned with salt. We must have grace in our tongue. Jesus tells us in the book of James chapter 3, we should not use our tongue to tear down and burn things down, right? Our words have the power of life and death in it in Proverbs chapter 18:21. Now, but to say that you can't actually say those words is something else. It's one thing to say you can speak, you should speak the right way. But it's another thing to say that you can't speak at all just because I don't like what you have to say. And that's kind of what's going on here. So when you look at Bible prophecy, in a sense, what we're about to see, a time is going to come when you mention certain names in prophecy, if you know what I mean. When you expose the beast, you speak about the mark of the beast, and you exposing the system of darkness, a lot of us are going to be canceled. Now, here is the crazy thing. No matter what the enemy tries to do with this, he can't stop God's function. He cannot stop God's work. The message is going to go forward. Because we are told that the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. There's no stopping that. We are told that the three angels fly in the midst of heavens, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. There is no stopping that. Right? A call to come out of Babylon because she's falling. She become the habitation of devils and a cage of the unclean spirit and hateful birds. There is no stopping that message. So we do know that God is going to work mightily no matter what man is trying to do. But one thing we also have to keep in mind is going to get really serious. So when you see the United States, a country who speaks about democracy, the freedom of the people, tolerance, right? When you see certain people in this country doing that, it's pretty disturbing. You know, I've been on YouTube for a while, and I can tell you, friends, our speech is being regulated, censored. Some of our videos are being shadow banned. And this is why, for those of you that are joining us, becoming a member to the channel and giving videos thumbs up, it really helps the channel in a very, very big way, because that's how you push back and fight back against the algorithm. There are certain messages the YouTube, I don't know how you would call them, the people who works on YouTube and different platforms, they can actually cancel and oppress and suppress the content so that nobody is seeing it. That is going on as we speak. So it's very important that in order for me to reach you, to talk to you, to share things with you, we have to have the ability to speak. Yeah, we have to speak the right way, but it must not be restricted. It must not be controlled by the state. Your government should not be telling you what can come out of your mouth. That is disturbing. Going back to what the Bible says, for the dragon was wroth for the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seeds. Why? Because they keep the commandments of God and they have the testimony of Jesus Christ. One of the ways the enemy is going to fight with you and against you is trying to censor you. That's what was done in the past to the reformers. Burn their books. Shut their churches down. They're not allowed to speak. Well, those days are coming again. But we do have hope because God is in charge. There is nothing men can do to stop gods from winning. Anyway, friends, share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Have a good one. By the way, check out our merch. Check out our merch. Consider becoming a member to the channel. Have a good one. Bye.